Now, this is going to conclude the episode of the Main Event Talk. But I am going to conclude it with this one thing. Because I've got to say it. It's got to be said. And you know what? I can't believe it. Nobody else can't believe it. And I sure as hell didn't expect it to happen. But it happened. Now, Slammiversary was on Father's Day, right? Which was this past Sunday. But something else happened on Father's Day as well. And I know there's a lot of other people that know what it is. It concluded. It's over. And now I have to sit back, relax, and see this crap go over and over and over again. I'm going to probably hop in my Mustang, drive over to fucking Corpus, drive over to fucking Ocean Drive, and what will I do? I'll see people with flags coming all around for the fucking freeway and shit. I'll see people come out in red, or I'm sorry, in black and silver coloring. Because just in case you guys hadn't figured it out, from the beginning I said the dynasty will fall and the franchise will rise. That was what I put on Facebook and on Twitter. But now the roles have been in reverse. Because now the dynasty has risen and the franchise have fell. I want for every person to hear me say this, and as much as I don't want to say it, I've got to. Especially for every San Antonio Spurs fan out there that's watching this episode of the Main Event Talk. To Homestar Runner, to my longtime best friend, to his sister Elena, PB, who's watching this, the best drummer on the planet, John Luna, and his girlfriend, Mickey. To every single Spurs fan that's watching this right now, because I know it is killing me. I hate this. I don't want to say it, but I have to because it's my show. And it's going to freak everybody out when I say, ladies and gentlemen, we have new NBA World Champions. The 2014 World Champions. And they are... This is worse than when The Undertaker lost his streak at WrestleMania. They are the 2014 NBA World Champions, 5-time champions, the San Antonio Spurs are the new champions, okay? There you go. So they're the champions, big deal. They're 5-time champions. Oh, what? Who cares? But I will admit this, though. I will admit this. I know, and I am a San Antonio Spurs hater. The Main Event admits that. I admit that to the world. I admit that to you. I admit that to everybody. And I know that some people are saying to themselves, why would you want to hate on the San Antonio Spurs, Furman? You're from Texas. Of course I'm from Texas, but I'm with my team, and my team is the Dallas Mavericks. That's who it always has been, and that's who it always will be. And remember this. We've beaten the San Antonio Spurs many times. Hell, we kicked them off the damn playoffs many times. I've always been an individual that focuses on the future. That's why I look to LeBron James, and that's why I look to the Heat. Because I want to see something new. I want to see something different. I want to see something that people will talk about for a long time. But you know what? I'm going to admit this to everybody right here, right now on my show. When I say The Spurs were better than the Heat. I admit that. I say it right here on my fucking show. They were a better team when they first started the series. They had a badass match with the Dallas Mavericks. You can't deny that. All 7 games right there. It was an even game. Hell, everybody felt that that was the NBA Finals. But it happened the way it did. They overcome the Dallas Mavericks. They beat the Pacers. They beat the Oklahoma Thunder. And I admit that they were a better team. They were. They overcome incredible odds. They beat LeBron James. They beat Chris Bosh. They beat Dwayne Wade. They beat the Heat decisively. They crushed them. Then they crushed it in San Antonio this past Sunday. On a personal note, you know, like I said, I don't like the Spurs. I'll never be a Spurs fan. I'll always be a Maverick no matter what. But as I admitted on Twitter and as I admitted on Facebook, they deserve it. Unquestionably, Ginobili, Duncan, and Parker truly deserve it. And don't forget, the thing that's interesting about the Spurs now is the future. And the future in guys like Leonard and Danny Green. Those two, even though they're Spurs, they are the future of the Spurs basketball team. And Tim Duncan, a future Hall of Famer, 38 years old, does he deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? You bet your ass he does. And believe it or not, there's only one San Antonio Spur that I like out of all of them. One guy. And that one man is the man responsible for the team being put the way it is. The man that pretty much is the brains of everything San Antonio Spurs. I've always thought that Phil Jackson was one of the greatest coaches of all time. And about a couple years ago, I said that there was one coach that could possibly match Phil Jackson. It would be Greg Popovich. To me, he's probably the only person I have much respect for. Definitely. He's a great coach. He pulled his team to victory. He gave him 5 world championships. 5. He's the only person that I have much respect for. And I would pick him over Phil Jackson any day. Just like that. So, congratulations go out to the San Antonio Spurs. And I know every San Antonio Spurs fan that's watching this episode of the Main Event Talk cannot believe the things that I'm saying. And I know that. I don't like to admit that they won, but they did. Do they deserve it? Yes, they do. Do they deserve the 5 rings? Yeah, they do. But remember, the Spurs may be the champions. They may hold on to the championship for over a year. But remember, the future looks bright. And no matter what, the Spurs are the champions. It's their moment. It's the Spurs' time. But next time, it may be LeBron James' time again. It may be the Heat's time one more time. Or who knows? Maybe the Houston Rockets will pull it off this year. Or next year, I'm sorry. Or maybe, just maybe, the Dallas Mavericks may pull it off next year. I know some people are saying, oh, yeah, right, Furman, they've only had one championship. One championship is enough. And I guarantee you, I will match Nowinski with Parker any day. And Duncan, your old ass is not going to be able to hold on much longer against Nowinski. You know you've been matched, but I'm leaving it aside. I'm going to leave it alone because it's not about the Heat, it's not about the Mavericks, it's not about the Rockets, it's about the Spurs. So once again, congratulations to the 2014 NBA World Champions, the 5-time World Champions, San Antonio Spurs. And I know that had to be the hardest thing for me to admit. But you know what? It's my show. I'll do whatever the fuck I want to do on this show. So ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this edition of the Main Event Talk. I hope you were entertained by the things I said about the San Antonio Spurs. And I hope you dig everything else that I talked in wrestling and so forth. So, with that being said, like I said, you'll probably see this video on Facebook, but I'm not going to be on Facebook that much. I'm going to be a whole lot more on Twitter than Instagram and everything else like that. But I will return to Facebook very, very soon. There'll be a time, there'll be a place when it happens. So don't worry, be prepared for that. So you can still follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, check out all of my videos on YouTube and everything else like that. You can even follow me on Tout if it still exists, if possible. Don't forget to check out Monday Night Raw coming Monday night. Also, NXT coming. Also, there's going to be a Legends reunion, a Legends House reunion on the WWE Network. NXT will be on WWE Network as well. Don't forget SmackDown will be coming up this Friday night. Impact Wrestling, the aftermath of Slammiversary. We'll find out what happens afterwards. And word is, Dixie Carter has called out Tommy Dreamer. I wonder what's going to happen there, you know? And check out everything else. And like I said, check out Money in the Bank coming in 2 weeks' time exclusively on the pay-per-view and on the WWE Network. And don't forget to check out Ring of Honor, Best in the World, this Sunday, June 22nd. For all of you big-time wrestling fans, because you know me, I'm the biggest wrestling fan in the world, I'm going to check out the pay-per-view, and I hope you check out the pay-per-view. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Get Ring of Honor, get Best in the World, check out all the matches. You will be impressed with what Ring of Honor has to offer. So thank you for watching this episode. I will see you very, very soon. Why? Because I can and I want to. Any questions? Enough said. The Spurs dynasty has risen, and the franchise of the Miami Heat has fell. But remember this: you won't hold on much longer.